Hi everyone. In this tutorial, we'll walk through how to install the Unreal Auto Setup all-in-one package and take a look at the basics of the control rig and live link workflow. The all-in-one installer includes everything you need: the core auto setup plugin, the CC control rig, and live link. Just install it once and all the required plugins will be ready to go. It's quick and easy. Let's first go over the installation process. First, head over to the Reallusion Hub and find the Unreal All-in-One installer. Click Download and follow the on-screen instructions to complete the installation. Once it's installed, you'll see versions 5.5 to 5.7 of Unreal Auto Setup All-in-One. Let's open version 5.7 and move the Content and Plugins folders into your Unreal project. Next, after opening your Unreal project, open the Plugin menu and confirm that Auto Setup All-in-One has been installed successfully. And you will see the Auto Setup button in the toolbar. When you click this button, a function panel will appear with the newly updated interface. We'll cover how to use it later in this tutorial. If you are using version 5.6 or 5.5 and have previously installed older versions of the control rig and live link, the system will notify you that they will be disabled. Inside the Plugins menu, you'll also see that Auto Setup All-in-One has been installed correctly, and the legacy version will be disabled. Any disabled legacy versions can be removed from your Epic Games library if you no longer need them. Next, we'll go over how CC characters can be exported. For this demonstration, the CC character is already animated. Let's choose FBX as the export format and select the Clothed Character option. The Target Tool preset provides separate options for Unreal Engine 4 and 5 skeletons. Clicking the Settings button, you'll notice that the reference pose is automatically set to A pose for the UE5 skeleton. You can select the Unreal version that best fits your project's needs. Next, choose to export both the mesh and motion, with the recommended subdivision level set to 1, which balances quality and performance. Then, select Current Animation, specify the animation range you want to export, and click the Export button. Let's now move on to Character Import. Click the Import button to bring the FBX file into Unreal. A pop-up will appear, informing you that the CC character will automatically switch to the high-quality shader. If your character uses any material other than digital human shader, like PBR shader, the materials will default to the standard shader. Below, you have the option to create the control rig upon import. Since creating the control rig adds to the import time, you can choose whether or not to use it. The manual will help you understand the difference between importing with or without the control rig and characters with varying subdivision levels. In this case, we choose to create control rig, and we'll cover the manual creation of the control rig in this tutorial later. If the character includes facial morphs, be sure to enable the Import Morph Target option. Also, enable Import Animation and set it to Animated Time. Finally, click the Import button. Once the process is complete, a skeletal mesh will be imported. The Auto Setup All-in-One will automatically create the control rig and live link blueprint. For the rig file, the skeletal mesh will be separated into face and body according to Unreal Control Rig specifications, and the IK retargeter also applied. The animation sequence will be imported along with the motion file, and you'll see that all morph data is included. For the material file, all textures will be connected to a material ball. Clicking on it will reveal multiple materials that can be adjusted. You can modify the base color for the skin, as well as micro normal strength, tiling size, and normal strength. Hair coloring can also be adjusted. along with the highlight strength and specular direction to change the direction of the reflectivity. Next, drag the skeletal mesh into the scene and set the animation mode to Use Animation Asset, and select the animation we imported. Then, we can play the animation to preview and verify that the import is correct. Finally, click on the IK retargeter. The exported UE5 skeleton will retarget based on the bind pose, allowing metahuman animations to be shared across characters. For more details on retargeting, please refer to the relevant tutorial. Next, let's go over how to use the CC control rig. First, drag the pre-made control rig blueprint into the scene. If you didn't enable the control rig option during character import, you'll notice that no control rig blueprint is available, so we need to create it manually. Right-click on the skeletal mesh and you will see Run Unreal Auto Setup option. This will fill in the missing blueprint data, including control rig or live link blueprint. After clicking, you can create a control rig blueprint. Next, bring the blueprint into the scene and add it to Sequencer. The body and face control rigs will be generated. You can then select the face and body tracks to add animations. Because the control rig and imported animations cannot play at the same time, we'll need to mute the control rig first. Then create a new animation mode for the body and face and select Custom Mode to play back the default animation. Then we can play the animation to preview it. If we want to edit the animation, right-click the body track and choose Bake to Control Rig, then Bake to the CC5 body rig. Once complete, you'll see that the animation track automatically mutes and you simply need to show the control rig again. The same procedure applies to the face. Right-click and choose Bake to Control Rig, Bake to the CC5 face rig, then show the control rig to preview the baked animation. With the control rig enabled, we can now refine facial performances and make the expressions more lively and detailed. Now let's go over how to use Live Link. Before we get started, open Reallusion Hub and install Unreal Live Link. Once installed, you can open the Live Link panel in iClone. Next, return to Unreal and drag the newly created Live Link blueprint into the scene. Then, check that the subject name under the Live Link section in the Details panel, and make sure the character names in both iClone and Unreal match. Select the character in Live Link to establish the connection. Before linking, go to Add Source and select iClone Live Link in Unreal. Then, click Link Activated to establish the link. You can play back the animation to verify everything is working. We can also use the tools included in Auto Setup, which offer various functions related to Live Link, such as creating cameras, lights, and Live Link blueprints, or create blueprints for the Unreal camera and lights. For this demonstration, we'll use Create Live Link Blueprint. Once the light is created, go to the Live Link section in the Details panel and verify the subject name as before. Then create a new light in iClone and ensure both lights share the same name. Before activated link, open the project settings in Unreal. Under Exposure, disable Auto Exposure and set the exposure bias to 0 to prevent the lighting from being affected by Unreal's exposure settings. Enable the Light option in Live Link to establish a connection. Now, when we adjust the position of the light, the corresponding light in Unreal will move accordingly. The same applies to light intensity. If Auto Setup Import Character was not used, we can use Live Link Transfer to bring the character into Unreal and establish a connection. In addition to transferring characters, we can also transfer lights, and these transferred lights will remain linked. Cameras can also be transferred to Unreal. After that, click the perspective and select the camera you just transferred to switch to its current view. Then establish the connection to adjust the camera's position and focal length directly in iClone. For more details with Live Link, please refer to the relevant instructional videos. Since Live Link Transfer does not create a control rig, you'll need to use Run Unreal Auto Setup to generate one if needed. Unreal Auto Setup All-in-One offers a fast installation process and lets you adjust characters and objects using the control rig and Live Link, streamlining character transfer and control like never before. Thanks for watching.